You don't have to fix yourself. You don't have to change your self-concept of someone that is worthy, deserving, good enough. You don't have to go through hoops and affirmations of things that you have been told or you've read or you believe. This is all coming from, I want to talk about this from two directions. And it's coming from the direction of manifesting, where you hear change your conception of yourself and that you have to feel good enough and worthy to have the desires that you want. But it's also coming from at me as a former psychotherapist. And I used to teach this, in that I would help people look at themselves different and as good enough and worthy and deserving of having things or being in a relationship or a career or position or whatever. This is something that we're taught in society. So it makes logical sense to go from not knowing anything about the law, not knowing anything about who you are, to moving into this space of, oh, well, it makes sense that I have to feel good enough. It makes sense that I have to feel worthy and deserving. So then that becomes like that natural next step of learning who you are. And in one of the comments in one of my previous videos, someone was saying that this just makes it easier for people to learn and kind of baby step their way into learning who they are as God and as the infinite power. And I want to talk about this again from both, because I totally get it. I totally get why you think that this is a step that you need to take of improving your self-concept, of improving the way you think about yourself, so that you can see yourself as God, so you can see yourself, because it kind of it gives that logical, makes sense perspective. And that's why people really get into it and stay there for days, months, years, decades even, of trying to become that person that's worthy and deserving of what they desire. And that just, and you guys, coming as a former psychotherapist and also learning and studying the law and applying it myself and teaching it and getting coaching from it, all of it, right? It makes sense, you guys, but I want to tell you that it is not necessary. It is simply not necessary that you do get to skip all of this and go to the end like Neville tells us. So stick with me, because I want to dive into this, and you're going to love these definitions on what these words mean of I am. We're going to get into this and why there's proof and evidence even in scripture telling us that you don't need to do this extra affirming and self-concept work. Okay, so stick with me. For those of you who are new and those who are returning, welcome. My name is Rose, and welcome to The Rosey Life, where we help you free your mind and follow your heart so you can live the life that you love. If you're interested in working one-on-one with me or in the group with the community, you can go to RoseyLife.com for all the information and options on how you can do that. So that was a long intro, but I just want to kind of jump back into that because that is really where my heart is. I just finished the live with the Rosey Life community as well, and we were talking about this in the community and diving deeper, and there was a lot of realizations happening from discussing this that, you know, it just makes so much sense. Like, as a former psychotherapist, you know, I did this for years, and I worked with thousands of clients. I even taught this. I was a adjunct professor at a university, and I taught this to up and coming therapists, and I believed it, and I worked it, I practiced it, right? So I get it that, you know, you have to change the way that you think about yourself and feel good enough and worthy and all of those things, right? So that you have an amazing relationship, you have an amazing career, that you have money, that, you know, that so things will stick to you when you manifest them so that they don't leave. It all makes perfect sense, you guys. I get it. However, what I want to share with you is that that is an unnecessary step. And even if you've never heard about the law, if you've never been spiritual, if you've never brought up in any kind of religion or any background like that, it doesn't matter. Because whether you have been living in the ocean under a rock with mermaid people and you've never heard about God or spirituality or Buddha or anything, or you've been in the middle of a monastery and you were raised by nuns and priests, it doesn't matter who you are, because we are all one. We are all the same. So creating stories and limitations that, oh, well, these kind of people need to have it presented to them differently so that they can actually get it, so that they can start learning the law. I totally fell for that. I totally fell for that trap at the beginning too, and because I didn't know. And that is why I'm presenting the information in this way, which is the truth. I'm not going to argue that there's another way to do it and that there's people are teaching it different ways. That's fine. It's all coming from the same place of love. Okay, everyone is, I believe that every single coach and every YouTube channel, every book and every teacher is all doing it from a really loving place of you wanting to, for you, all of you, to have your desires. I'm not arguing with that at all, because I truly believe that everyone is coming from a loving place, whether it's a plumber or an electrician or somebody working in a store or selling pizza. Everything is coming from this loving place, okay? That is hands down. However, what I want to share with you is that there is no need for you to fix yourself, because there's nothing to fix. The only thing there is for you to drop beliefs and let go of the thought that something is wrong with you. I did a 60-second short yesterday because this came from one of my clients as well. And she said, I'm manifesting amazing things. She said, but when it comes to this certain person, it's a coworker, she's like, I'm having a hard time and I'm feeling very victimized. And this is how I love, because it's one of my clients, because I get back to messages as soon as I can, right? But sometimes it takes me a minute because I'm busy with others. But this is how I know, this is what I love about working with my clients, is she said, I feel like victimized, like because I don't have any control over this person, how they're behaving with me, and I'm just trying to figure out what is it that I must believe that this keeps happening. And then she proceeded to answer her own question, and she said, wait a minute, she's like, I see it. I'm giving myself this story that I don't have any power with this specific person. I'm separating my power, saying it works over here but not over there. And she's like, oh my God, totally needed just to talk to you, just to write that out, because I know what your answer is going to be anyway, so thank you. And by the time I read it, she had already answered her own question, because that's what we do. It's like you learn to see that everything comes back to fear, that everything is coming back to fear. So when you point it back to you, to who you are, it's very easy. The truth is easy. A Course in Miracles says this. The truth is easy. Everything else is complicated. So if it feels hard, and if you're feeling like you have a difficult time, like affirming or scripting or visualizing, if it feels hard, that means you are making something happen. You're trying to make something happen, and you don't have to try to make anything happen, because everything is you. Everything is already happening inside of you, right? You're just not looking at it. You've created, like I said in that other video, you created a state of needing to fix yourself, needing to try, needing to make things happen. And that is an unnecessary state. It's not a step, but people look at it as a step. They're like, you go from not having to I want something. And even this person said, you can't go from not having it to having it. She says that's just not very easy. You have to have a lot of faith to do that. And my response to that is, yes, you can. You are instant. You don't have to have all that faith. You don't even have to believe in it. You just have to be willing to look at that end and claim, because as God, you don't even have to believe that you are God, because whether you believe in that God in you or not, it is there. All you have to do is lean into, say, you know what, I'm going to choose to believe that this is true. I'm going to choose to believe that I am the all, that I am powerful, that I am God. I'm going to choose to believe it. That right there is enough, right? So you choose to believe it. And And look, and is that going to feel weird at the beginning? Yeah, it is. It's going to feel weird because that's what you're not used to saying or thinking, or you're not used to having it, right? I was watching this show last night, and it just say, you're just so used to your life being, he was telling this person, he said, you're so used to your life not going your way that you can't see the possibility of things going your way. And that is exactly where a lot of people come into the law. They're just like, they don't think it's possible, right? You're just not used to it. So you get used to it. You just have to choose to believe that you are the all. And I choose to believe that this is what I can do, that I can have it all because it's all right now. So my suggestion, right, is if you're new and you're just learning anything about the law and manifesting, that you invest all your time in accepting who you are and understanding the I am, and really remembering, because that's what you're doing. You're remembering that you are the all, that you have it all, that you are perfect, whole, and complete. You don't have to continuously remind yourself of that all the time when you go right to I am. Even if you don't feel it, even if you don't believe it, because that power will come running to you to show you the evidence and proof of what you're declaring yourself to be. So you don't have to go through this whole process of trying. Now, earlier this morning, this Bible verse came to me while I was getting dressed, and I looked it up because I thought, okay, that is so spot on to what I was saying in that video and what I'm saying now. And this is the verse. It says, do not add to what I command you, and do not subtract from it, but keep the commands of the Lord your God and that I give you. So the Lord in the Bible means the law and the truth. The way. It's the law, is the truth, and the way. Notice it's the, not a way. It's the law, the truth. So what is the law? The law is the truth, the I am. Okay, so again, do not add to what I command you, and do not subtract to it, but keep the commands of the Lord your God that I give you. So it's saying, the law is the law. The truth is the truth. I am is I am. You don't have to add on top of it. So by affirming that you are something, I accidentally erased it. So affirming that you are, or that you are less, right? Meaning if you walk around saying, well, I got to fix myself. I got to affirm that I got to heal from my traumas. I got to heal from all these beliefs, the limitations. I got to heal from this. That's affirming that you're less, right? That's subtracting from the law, from the truth, from you are God, you are whole and complete. And affirming that you are, and saying that you're, and trying to convince yourself that you are good enough and that you're worthy and that you are God and that you are, it's almost like a moot point here, because whether you can't add or subtract to the law, to the truth. You can't add and it tells you, don't do it. Don't add or subtract. You are the truth. You are the way. You are the one. You are the cause of it all. You are it. So instead of trying to add on top of it or trying to subtract it, meaning you're putting yourself down and saying that you got to fix something, it says to be, don't add or subtract. It's giving you the law, the truth, and you're over here saying, oh, well, let me fix it. Let me fix me. Or let me add on to make sure that I'm going to get what I want, right? It's saying don't add. It's already being given to you. And the other thing I want to add in, Dr. Joseph Murphy said this in one of his lectures in Power of Subconscious Mind, I believe as well, or yeah. He just, this is biblical too. It's like he describes I am. It's like, what does I am stand for? And this is so cool, right? The I is infinite, right? It's the I, it's the all, it's infinite intelligence. It's you are the infinite. The A, and this is in Hebrew, A is for Abba. So Abba is Father. So the A is for Abba in Hebrew is Father. And the M is Mother. It stands for Mother. So now you have the infinite. You have the infinite, and you have the A, the masculine, and the M is feminine. So when the I joins with the am, right? The I am. When the I joins with the I am, mother and father, right? There's a feminine, masculine, and he even talks about the subconscious is the masculine and the conscious awareness is the feminine. So when in consciousness, you have an idea and it goes within to the subconscious, right? You impregnate yourself with this, with the manifestation, right? It becomes. So the I, when you say I am, you are bringing together I am. You are really, you are putting these things together. So you're having this union of what your desire is with the Father. And then what happens when you say I am wealthy, right? So that wealthy is the baby, let's say, okay? Let's just get real here. It's like that's what they're talking about. Okay, so the baby is wealthy or married or happy or healthy, right? So I am, right? You're joining this. So that is what you're saying. When it's not just I am. It's I am, like I, infinite intelligence. You can literally just walk around saying I. That's who you are. Because the am is the act of bringing the idea into the Father to conceptualize it within, to manifest it within. And then what happens, the wealthy, that's what the product of what you're doing here when you're joining the I am. That is who you are. That is whole and complete. It is all. It is everything. So anything you condition I am with is what you declare that you are. So it's not you don't have to force it or try it. This is what you want to understand about what you're saying, instead of just affirming and scripting all day long without really understanding what I am is. I am is the all. It's the infinite, right? It's actually I is the beginning. It's the I. Before anything was, it was I. And then God created man in his image and gave us mind. And the mind, right, is our imagination, is what we get to, where we get to imagine things, or quantum fields, like I said in my last video, right? So adding or subtracting to the law is not necessary. You are being, you are the all. And so it's more about accepting who you are, more about remembering who you are, than it is trying to force yourself or trick your mind or convince yourself or really accept it, right? Because you are already the all. You are the I am. It's all within you right now. So my intention for you is to focus on who you are, remembering who you are, and it will come to you, and it'll come to you in an individual way, not because I said so, not because somebody else said so, not the way that I said it, but it will come to you. If whatever you seek is seeking you, remember, and that is, I think that's a Buddha quote, but whatever you seek is seeking you. Think about it. If you're seeking your I am, that is also ready and seeking you. It's already waiting for you. You already are this. So instead of trying to put things on top of you, right? Another way I was thinking about it too, it's like, I love playing with makeup and jewelry and all kinds of stuff, right? And different beauty products, because it's just fun to me, right? But I don't need it, because who I am at the core, that is who I am. And everything else is just stuff that I put on top of the I, but I don't need it. What I need is already here. What I need doesn't need the makeup, the hair, the whatever, the jewelry. It doesn't need it, right? I am enough. That is the I. And I don't even need to say am, right? Because I is all that there is. So everything after that is like, I am putting makeup on. I am putting jewelry on, right? Do you see? Everything that piles on top of the I is not needed. You are the all. You are everything. But when you declare, I am something, that is what you're declaring yourself to be. You are the all. So I intend that you guys like this video and that it's helpful for you. And thank you so much for liking my videos and subscribing to The Rosey Life. I really appreciate you guys so much. You are all so freaking amazing, and I love you. Bye-bye.